Hey Xavi, welcome
Hi.
to the Meet the Brains series. So could you tell me, what is your research interest?
We're working on pain and how sensory neurons are detecting pain signals and transmit pain to the brain.
Okay, well, could you tell me a bit more about pain?
Yeah, pain is not a specific disease, it's just something that happens in many diseases like chronic pain, chronic itch. So mainly neurons detect painful stimuli and send the message to the brain, and when they are very stimulated, very active, you feel pain a lot of all the time and you have chronic pain.
Okay, and what's exciting about your research?
There are many ways sensory neurons can detect different types of stimuli like mechanical, chemical, thermal stimuli and how they transmit it to the brain.
Okay, and how do you reach your research goals?
By combining different methods like from genes to cells to behavior, recording nerve activity, so different techniques.
Wow, that's a lot of things.
Yeah.
And who are your partners in your research?
We collaborate with several people in the US, in Canada, in France, other groups that they are doing similar things, also in Spain, depending on the technology they have.
Okay, and how can your research change the world?
Well, if we can find some blockers for the activation of sensory neurons, especially for those people who have chronic pain, this will help a lot of people.
Yeah, that would be a big change, wouldn't
Yeah.
it? So do you collaborate with industry?
Yeah, sometimes they come to us for our expertise, for our techniques, to do some work for them. Or sometimes we can partner with them to develop some drugs or to do some specific research on something.
And does your research have real-world applications?
Yeah, sure. If you can find an analgesic, for example, it would be very useful. Or if you can have some drug to lower intraocular pressure for glaucoma, that's another thing we have done.
Okay, and what's next in your field of research?
Now it's really a good time because it's been defined several types of sensory neurons that they have specific functions, and some of them detect different types of stimuli. So it's really a new advance in the field.
Sounds great. And who or what is your inspiration?
When you see a neuron that it's firing in response to when you touch the skin, for example, or when you see the mechanism that different animals or plants or humans use for detecting different stimuli from outside, from the world, that's really nice.
That sounds great. And if you could have a coffee with a scientist from the past, who would it be?
Maybe Hodgkin and Huxley that describe how the action potential works, or maybe, which I actually did with one of them, Hubel, that described how the visual cortex works.
And what's the best thing that has happened in your career?
Maybe meeting a lot of really smart people working on different areas and be able to chat with them.
Cool. And what would you say to your younger self when you were starting your scientific career?
Maybe don't be afraid, risk a little bit, and follow your instinct, maybe.
That's good advice. If you hadn't been a scientist, what else would you have liked to be?
Probably medical doctor.
And finally, what do you think will be the next big thing in neuroscience?
Probably when we have computers, really big computers that are able to simulate how the brain works at a single cell level, and we can make like a model for the brain and understand how it works.
Okay, thanks a lot, Xavi.
Thank you.